Welcome to UNCAGED, a show that celebrates thought leadership from today's top business leaders. The program provides a voice to amazing executives from around the globe who are shaping the world of business today and mapping the path to the commerce of tomorrow. Today, we're speaking with Jorge Alderete. Hey, Jorge, how are you?
All righty. How are you, Ben?
I'm very, very well, Jorge. I'm excited to talk to you. Jorge is the president of ALK North America and Senior Vice President of Commercial Operations for them. We'll go through in more detail what ALK is focused on these days, but certainly a leader in the biopharmaceutical space. But before we get there, tell us a little bit about yourself and your career to date, Jorge.
Absolutely. I'm an engineer, mechanical engineer, and I've got an MBA in finance. And I started out my career in business development with a company that was a conglomerate back then. Basically got involved into medical healthcare, and then from there moved to various companies in the biotech field, medical devices, and then ending up at ALK, which is a allergy immunotherapy company that has novel ways to treat patients.
So Jorge, tell me a little bit more about what you're working on at ALK North America.
Sure. So ALK has a couple of different products. We have a biologic product, which is about 243 different allergens, which a allergist or ear, nose, and throat doctor would test you for. They would either do a skin test or they would actually take a blood draw and see what your IgE levels are. That biologic is usually given as a shot by the physician. You have to go weekly for a period of about 28 weeks. Then after that, you are on what's called the maintenance level, and you go every 4 to 6 weeks to get a shot. And the total treatment takes about 3 to 5 years. They call it desensitizing you to what you're allergic to. So if you went to an allergist or an ENT allergist, they might do a skin test or a blood draw or both and say, hey, it looks like you're allergic to grass, mite, molds, etc. They would then actually draw up what you're allergic to and then start giving you these shots. That's one part of our business. Mm-hmm. Back in 2017, 2018, we launched tablets to deal with 3 of those allergens. I mentioned we have 243 on the biologic side. We have 3 on the tablet side. They are mite, grass, and ragweed. And you would basically take the first tablet for either of those 3 allergens in the physician's office and wait 30 minutes. And then you would take the rest at home. So it's a way to make it more convenient for the patients to get treatment. Yeah. We also have a product for penicillin allergy. 10% of the population believe they're penicillin allergic. Maybe when you were a kid, your mom or grandma said, hey, man, you tend to have rashes when you take penicillin. In most cases, once tested, doctors will actually see that you are not penicillin allergic. 90% of patients once tested for penicillin allergy are not. You've either outgrown it or it was a reaction to the virus you had rather than the antibiotic. In addition, we have a novel product for Acute Ottis Externa, which is also called swimmer's ear. Mm-hmm. So an infection that forms in your ear from obviously swimming or other type of issues that get the infection lodged there in your middle ear. And the product is used in the doctor's office. It's a procedure rather than you going home and putting otic drops, 4 to 8 drops per day for 10 days. This is a procedure that is done in the office. And then over time, the drug dissipates in your ear and takes care of your infection.
That's great. Jorge, as someone who definitely was diagnosed as a child that had penicillin allergy, I'm interested to hear about that. But also, it's interesting, we live in this age right now where in US schools, there's always the joke of the peanut allergy table. And it's quite interesting that we live in a time where there's perhaps more awareness, more discussion about allergies. But what you're outlining to me is heartening news about ways to think about and maybe deal with those issues.
Exactly. And again, I think COVID, thank God it looks like it's behind us. But those 2 years of COVID really affected patients' ability to go to an allergy practice and get shots. Many patients were looking for alternatives, and the tablets offer that.
That's great. So let me shift gears a little bit here. And we've been living in an interesting moment over the last couple of years, and it's kind of challenged a lot of things that we've been doing from a business perspective. And I just be curious to see how you and ALK North America are evolving as a company from the pandemic learnings.
Thank you. So one of the ways we are evolving is trying to do more direct to consumer marketing and educating consumers about the alternatives out there. We tend to look at the physicians as our end market. In reality, it's the consumer. And I think what's happened over the last 2 years has caused everyone, especially in the pharmaceutical arena, to reassess how we get information to the actual consumer and patients. So we have actually done a lot of direct to consumer marketing to educate them, to give them basically discussion guides. How do you go and talk to your physician and ask questions about the options? So that's one way that we have evolved. We are also looking down the road at having hopefully food allergy products, a peanut tablet in the future, and then also an epinephrine product in the future.
That's excellent. Well, I know that all of those allergy sufferers out there will be heartened to hear all of these breakthroughs and movements that you're making. But as you guys look forward into 2022, what do you think the company's going to be focusing on and the trends that we're going to see in your space?
What we're excited about, again, is that these tablets, we have 3 tablets currently available in the US. In Canada, we actually have 4 tablets. So in the US, we have a Mite tablet, which is for age 18 and up. We have a grass tablet, which is for age 5 and up. We have a Ragweed tablet, which is also for age 5 and up. So our hope is that we can get more patients to know that in addition to symptomatic meds, which you can get at any pharmacy, and you could, basically take those on your own. The issue with that is you're not trying to fight the underlying cause of the disease. You're rather just masking your symptoms, and eventually your symptoms will get worse over time. What we hope is that patients realize that allergy immunotherapy is one of the ways to actually fight that underlying disease rather than just put a Band-Aid. It does take 3 to 5 years, but you change your immune system over that time, if you will.
That's incredible. Well, it's all very, very exciting, George, and thank you so much for telling us about what you guys are working on. If someone wanted to learn more about what ALK North America is working on, where can they find you?
Online, obviously, like everyone else. I'm very active in LinkedIn and Twitter, but you can go to our website at alk.net, and all that information is there. We also have a Find a Doctor tool where you could actually find either allergists or ENT allergists that provide these various forms of immunotherapy to help you, again, fight that underlying cause rather than just take symptomatic meds.
Yeah, that's excellent. Well, George, thank you so much for joining us on Uncaged today. We've been speaking with Jorge Alderete. He's the president of ALK North America and senior vice president of commercial operations for ALK North America. It's been exciting to hear about all of the things that they're working on in the broader area of treatments for allergies, and sounds like some interesting stuff coming down the pike. So thank you so much for joining us, George, and we look forward to having you back soon.
Great. Thank you, Matt. Have a great day.
Cheers.